You're listening to the Beansanddice podcast, a podcast about how we game.
Hey folks, welcome to the Beansanddice podcast, Thursday night live call-in show. I'm Carlos.
I'm Rob.
And I'm Wayne.
Thursday night, boys. Let's go.
Oh,
it's game
I forgot something.
time.
I'm going to have to run over and grab mine in a second.
I got my
It's
water.
behind me.
Happy Thursday night. Welcome to the Beansanddice podcast, Thursday night live call-in show, where we talk about board games and other
Happy
geeky
Thursday.
goodness. On Thursday nights is a live call-in show night where we let you take over and talk about said topics of your choice. When you call in, you become the host. You run the show for 10 minutes or so. And we're going to kick it off tonight with a little primer conversation here. Thanks to our friend of the show, Nick Oben, had
Nick
thrown this
Oben.
question into the Discords. If you're not familiar with the Discords, check the descriptions of whatever platform you're watching this or listening this to. You'll find a link to our Discord where you too can also send questions in for us to talk about on an episode. In tonight's episode, we're going to talk about how a game ends. We're going to talk about the differences between determined game length and end game trigger conditions. So the difference between a fixed game length and a variable end game length. And in the comments, if you could, throw in there which of these two, fixed game length or variable game length, do you think provides a more satisfying arc for the players? So like either tension of a variable game or the nice, smooth predictability of a fixed game. Which one do you think provides the most satisfying arc for the players?
I'll tell you, flipping the table is what I thought we were talking about. How to end the game, right? I mean, flip the table? Yeah? No, not tonight. All right, that's a different topic.
In Tabletop Simulator, that is one way to end the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so what are examples? Let's start by defining terms, right? Like that's usually like the best way to do these conversations is defining terms. So what is fixed end game mechanic versus a variable end game mechanic? And let's provide some examples of each. Wayne, you want to take fixed end?
Sure. Determined game length.
Yeah.
Game lasts a set number of rounds, turns, or a time limit. And then you've got basically, usually it's a game where if someone, the star player finishes out the round, so everyone has the equal number of turns. Deterministic. So games that kind of do that would be White Castle.
My favorite.
Yep. Lords of Waterdeep. Everyone has the same number of turns at the end of the game. Seven Wonders. Those are all ones that kind of come to mind.
Finspan is also one.
Finspan, Finspan, Wingspan has a determinate amount of time period. Yeah.
Most of your Euros are going to be like that. Yep.
Yeah, a lot of Euros tend to have that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go to Rob and talk about some of the variable end games. What does it look like? What does it sound like? And what are some examples of a variable end game?
So variable end game doesn't have a determined number of rounds. It's usually some mechanic in the game that determines when it ends, like maybe when a certain deck runs out of cards or a certain person hits a certain point on a score track. Usually it can lead to an uneven number of turns, which some people could like that because strategically that can be part of the game, but it's not. You don't know exactly when it's going to end, and it can be triggered at any time. Some games that use variable. Let me see here. I know there's a list of them here that I had referenced. Determined. If one of y'all have that handy.
Scythe is one, right? Scythe is one where you have to get a certain number of stars to trigger the end.
5 stars inside.
That's
a good one.
And applies to variable game length.
Yeah, for sure.
Thunder Road Vendetta, that's another one. The game end trigger doesn't happen until one player is completely out of vehicles, and it adds the end finish line.
Right, one of my favorites, Terraforming Mars. So you got to move those 3 tracks, or 2 tracks, and then put all the oceans out. But once ocean tiles are out and those 2 tracks are maxed out, then it triggers the end of the game and last rounds of play.
Yeah, when the conditions are met.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, let's talk about some of the pros and cons and benefits of them. Rob, I know you're a big Euro fan, so you got to have a favorite here. Which of these two do you enjoy the most?
Yeah, of the one I enjoy the most, I think, has got to be determined, and I think the reason for that is again, it gives me an idea of exactly what how much time I've got to do what I need to do. So I can kind of plan out strategically and know what's coming. The end doesn't surprise me too much. I'm not a huge fan of the variable just because I was thinking about this earlier. It may have to do with I play a lot of games with some super smart people in our group. There's a lot of smart players, a lot of people who played a lot of games, a lot of people who forward plan. They can think ahead 2 or 3 turns, and I kind of I'm more off the cuff. I like to pivot on things. I like to kind of take things as they come. And players who can affect the end of the game tend to do enough to get a lead in a game, and then they want to trigger it as soon as possible because they know once they have the lead, they've got it locked down. And usually when that happens, I'm in the middle of either building my engine or tinkering with whatever the mechanics are in the game. And when that game ends and I'm not expecting it, it really is kind of a flat feeling for me. It's like, oh, I didn't get to build up and pull off the cool thing I was going to do because I needed another round or another turn. So for me, it's being a Euro fan. I think it's definitely a determined game length. But go ahead, Wayne.
I was gonna say, like, I mostly almost entirely agree. I would just say, like, I think the converse of the opposite of that, though, is there are some determined length games like White Castle that just end before you actually,
Too soon.
like too soon, right? So it's like if
Mhm.
there was so it's interesting is like, you have games that have an in-game trigger and someone can get ahead. Like you said, they just barrel through and try to end the game as quickly as possible. But then you also have some of those determined end games where either you're not grokking it or other people grok that engine faster than you, and it just ends before you really even get things going. So that's kind of like I think a con sometimes of fixed length games is a lot of fixed length games always seem to end like a turn before you think they should, which is probably arguably part of the game design, right? Is like
Right.
if it lasted as long as you needed, then there's nothing to master there, right? So you have to always, I think
Everybody be doing everything. Yeah.
I think I played Gollum this past weekend
Oh yeah.
at the game day, and again, it was like another one of those things. Like, man, if there was a whole nother round of this game, then like you just got everything built and going, and then it ends, and you're like, is that did I just not do it right, or do you have to just have the perfect min max to get your engine cranking before that final round because that deterministic ending's coming up.
But is that a bug or a feature, Wayne?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think
exactly.
It's probably a feature. It's probably a feature. It's one that I don't like in a lot of games,
Yeah, I want to touch on White Castle real quick because you brought White Castle up,
yeah.
and that's a great example because White Castle it irritated me the first 4, 5, 6, 7 times I played that the game ended too soon, and I still feel it probably ends a little too soon. But now that I know that, I know I've got to maximize everything I'm doing. And then the other good thing, just to touch on while we're talking about it, with these determined game end triggers, is it makes the time of the game, how long the game is going to last, more predictable. Now, of course, that's based a lot on the people who are playing, people who are APN min maxing, but I know that White Castle is probably going to be about a 45-minute game. It's not going to probably drag 2 or 3 hours because you've only got those 9 turns. And even though you're trying to do everything you can in those 9 turns, it kind of really lays out the foundation of it. In Scythe, I know Scythe is a bigger game. You're trying to do more things. And even though it's just placing 5 stars, you still know that that's probably going to take about 2 hours, depending on who you're playing with, maybe 2.5. But it's something you kind of know. Sometimes with the variable length games, I feel like I might be ready for an hour game and somebody pops it in 40 minutes. And I'm like, oh, well, gosh, yeah, that was, again, I feel a little flat because I didn't go where I wanted it to go. So,
but does that then lead though, like, so on the White Castle topic, when you watch the World Series of Board Games, which I didn't watch the White Castle one, but Daryl was at the game, we were playing Gollum and we were talking about Gollum ending early. He's like, I watched the White Castle, and he's like, at the final table. So these are like the best White Castle players, right? Or not the best, but pretty darn good, probably, right? He said the first round, they all did the same thing. They all did like the well action, blah, 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 blah. And then, so it's like, because it's a deterministic ending and because it's a very compressed game with a short, with only 9 turns and 3 rounds, it's a built in for the min-max players that there's like a optimal way
The
to
right
play.
way. Yeah.
Yeah, the right way to play it, right? And so there's that.
I can see
When
that.
you have a deterministic ending, is there a right way to play? Whereas when you have an ending that can be triggered by different things, it allows a more expansive or explorator of the game.
Yeah, because I have some concerns about games that become the right way to play. Right, they're the games that, like, if you don't do these moves at the beginning, Scythe feels like one of them. Like there's a right
Sure.
thing to do at the beginning. Right?
Yep,
Those
depending on
kinda
your
do
setup, but
bother
yep.
me a little bit.
Yeah.
I would rather see games where there's definitely a wrong way to do it, right? But there's still at least a few options to do it okay, right? So, like,
Yeah.
my hope is that with White Castle, what I've experienced is that there are wrong ways to do it, but there is no one determinate way to do it. The dice really dictate what you're gonna do. So, like, that dice, it isn't so much the actions that are available as much as what are my dice options. I can see why they went to the well so early. There's so much money. You're getting so much money right off the bat. If you're putting a high dice in the well, it's a 1. You're just getting $5 on a 6 pip die, plus usually 2 or 3 resources, and a daimyo seal. So it's like it's not a terrible action. Don't sleep on that.
Like
action.
max that out the whole first round, bam, 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 and then you have all the money and things you need for the next 2 rounds.
But
That's why
what's
you
some
have,
of the fun of the variable length, right? So that's all deterministic. Variable length, for me, what it adds is a social aspect to the game, where now you're having to watch what everyone else is doing. Is so-and-so about to trigger the end of the game? So I need to tighten up my engine and just get to getting goose and points out of this thing, right? Or am I on the verge of triggering the end game, but I know I'm not in a good points position, so I need to hold back on these end game conditions, maybe not place that next ocean when I know I can, so that I can eke out a few more points somewhere else. I love that piece. It brings people together at the table in a different way.
Yeah, I see the interaction, and I think it also can depend on the type of game. So we'll get into that as well. Depends on kind of what style of game or what kind of game you're playing. I think to some extent, but does that make it fun? I mean, it definitely ratchets up the tension. It definitely makes you pay attention, like you said, to what everybody's doing, because you got to know, is somebody getting ready to end it, or is somebody trying to, you can kind of tell sometimes when somebody's like, oh, I could end it, and a lot of people say that I could end this next round. But maybe I'm not in first place, so I got to eke out some more points. I'm gonna extend this another couple of rounds just because I don't think I'm gonna win it if we end it right now. So I don't know. It adds a different element of fun. Like I say, it's more tense probably. It's more player interaction. It's more paying attention. But I don't know that it makes it more fun for me. I don't know if that makes sense. But having to, like you said, like, no, I got to eke out those last few points. I would rather explore a little. I'd rather, have a little time to do some stuff, do some things.
4-hour game of terraforming Mars.
Then the converse though is like, all right, I could end it this round, but if I don't end it, I'm gonna get 10 more points in my optimal turn, and the guy that's in first place is gonna get 30. So screw it, I'm just gonna end the game, right? And then Rob, you're in third place, and you're like, oh, but if I had one more turn, I could have had a 70-port turn, right? Then you have the kingmaker, right? I'm like, I'm just gonna end the game.
I was the kingmaker.
I can't win. I can't catch up. I think it also speaks to, I think that's why like most Euros have a standard number of rounds, and some of your more thematic games will have and those games that kind of cross between theme and Euro, which is like Scythe and Terraforming Mars, maybe, where there's kind of
that will be done.
Crusaders, where they're kind of Euro-ish, but there's theme there, and the theme is what makes it indeterminate time period. So I think that could be part of it too, is how you're doing it. I think what's interesting too is like, if you're like, for me, huge believer, if you're gonna have a set number of rounds or like an end game trigger, and then it just ends, either one, I'm not a fan of that. I want
an extra round.
I want everyone to be able to finish the round. I want everyone to have an equal number of turns. I don't like games that just end.
But even more than that, Wayne, I like the ones that it triggers the end such that next round's our last round. So we finish this round,
I like that.
Right.
and then everybody gets
and then
that
go one more
round.
Yep. Yep. I like that.
I
Or
think that's the nicest way to do it.
Yeah, gives everybody a chance. So I agree. And don't get me wrong. I think there's a place for both styles. Like I said, it depends on the type of game you're playing. My dungeon crawlers, Frosthaven, Oathsworn. I don't want. I'm playing right now with the two my two boys. We're playing Descent, a second edition Journey into the Dark. I think it's Journey into the Dark, but Journey into something. But anyway, I don't want that to be deterministic as far as when that ends. We can revive each other, we can heal each other. They call it standing up. We can stand up. A fallen friend. So it ends if we're all down, or if some objective happens eventually that either we meet our goal or the bad guys meet their goal. But in those heavily thematic games, you want them to kind of go where they go. You want them to last however long they last, and so I think there definitely is a place for, like I say, for both styles. But again, the Euro in me says, tell me how many rounds there's going to be, tell me how many points I can score, and let's do it. So yeah.
All right, well, let's give our closing thoughts on determined game length versus end game trigger / condition. Final thoughts. I'll go first.
Okay.
For me,
go ahead. Yeah.
I do enjoy my determined game length games. I think those are the ones where I get most mathy, where I'm like looking at, okay, I need to average out 3.5 points per action in order to, to do this right, to be able to. So if I know that I'm averaging lower than that, then I need to get higher next round so that I can get a good score. Those are fun. I enjoy that brain burn. But I really like my end game condition games. Those are, like Rob said, the most thematic ones. I'll leave you with Lord of the Rings Duel for Middle Earth. Just thinking that you're doing great. I'm over here beating on the map, and suddenly wifey's throwing the ring in Mordor. Or like, oh, I wasn't watching that track. That condition triggered the end of the game. Those are the games that I walk away with the most emotions and the most story. So for me, I'm going to end it with end game trigger conditions have left me with the most fun feelings.
Okay. Well, I think I probably prompted the ending there with mine because I explained it there. But for me, again, I think being the Euro gamer at heart, it's those determined number of rounds, those determined number of moves that I'm going to get. I can see the end coming, so I know, hey, I've only got 2 more rounds, or I've only got 2 more plays of cards to finish off what I need to do. And so it's the thinky part that I enjoy. I do like the theme in some games, but for me overall, being a Euro gamer, I think that's what brings it home for me. And so I'm voting for a determined number of rounds.
Break the tie, Wayne. Break the tie.
I know where we're going. I hope.
Yeah. Well, it's probably
Is it
going to be
determined?
It's determined. Yeah. Although, I mean, be honest, like I think when I think of all the games I own, the majority of them, or a large percentage of them, are X number of rounds, right? But then you have equal number, not equal number, but I have a decent number of, like, those campaign games and the end game trigger that have an extra round. And so you think about like Ticket to Ride, right? Is not a set number of rounds, it's kind of an end game trigger because it's the person that goes to lower trains. And right. Pandemic, yeah, there's end game triggers that running out of the deck, but generally you're gonna finish the game before you run out of the deck. So I don't mind games like that, and certainly I like Scythe and I like Terraforming Mars, and there's plenty of other games that have indeterminate rounds. But generally speaking, I'm a Euro gamer that likes thematic games. I think so. Yeah, I'd probably go with the determined number of rounds.
You're on the winning side.
In the comments,
right
make sure you're commenting what yours are. We'll read them here in a moment. But before we do that, we will open up the phone lines. 813-618-7099 is the phone number here. When you call in, you get to take over the show, and you get to bring the topics to us about what you got going on gaming-wise. Again, phone lines are open, 813-618-7099. Call in. Make it a call-in show. Behind me is our call-in board. As you can see, there is nothing on the board. Let's go to the comments.
Yeah, some good ones in there.
First in the comments today, Jim Odak with the googly eye smiley face.
Waiting on us. That was posted before the show started.
Captain Gamer in the house. Howdy, gents. Jim talking about the topic. He says, I prefer a fixed game length. Not against game end conditions, but it seems sometimes players just rush to the end game. yes, especially if we see you getting real far ahead, Jim, we just want to end this. End the mercy
Just
kill.
get the misery over.
Yep, let's get this over with.
I can say though, like I've been at, I'm sure we've all been at a con, and you sit down and play one of those games that has a any game trigger, and it's like either you're not enjoying the game, or the person that
Or the people.
or the people or the game, one person is so far ahead, and you're like, well, if I can just rush this and get this game done, then I can go play another game. And so, but then you also think about that's kind of a jerk thing to do, because then you're potentially ruining the fun of other people in the game group. So that magic circle type stuff. But I've definitely, I've been guilty of it as well. Of like,
yeah,
let's, all right, how do I end this game quick? Let's go. You know,
yeah, I've heard you say that out loud before at the table.
I know.
Captain Gamer is in here, says prefer a fixed point to trigger the end game. I guess that would be a hybrid. So that's that hybrid idea that some games have a triggered end game, but also a fixed. So like if it doesn't get triggered, I don't know. It's kind of a weird. What kind of game are you talking about, Captain Gamer? Give me an example.
Yeah, examples.
Terraforming Mars, Galactic Cruise, says Jim Nodak. That's why the module board in Scythe is a must. I think the module board adds a fixed game length, if I'm right. I think 20 turns, if I remember the rules right.
Is it really?
Captain Gamer says, I prefer a certain number of rounds to determine the end game. I also enjoy a game with an end game condition trigger like Raiders of the North Sea, provided the game doesn't end in only a few turns. So no White Castle.
Yeah, no rushing down to the dungeon, grabbing the first treasure and running out.
Yeah. Clank.
That's a hard one to win though if you do that way.
Mm-hmm.
It'll work sometimes. It's like one of those strategies that'll work a couple of times. You know, it's like the trading away all your goods and then playing the Monopoly and Catan. That only works once.
It rushes the game. As soon as somebody does it, everybody feels the pressure. It's like, oh crap, I gotta get out now. So,
yeah.
Well, let's get into our twig and allow folks to call in 813-618-7099. The twig is the part of the show where we talk about this week in gaming. Usually these are gaming related topics, either games we've played, games we've purchased, games we have received, or even game content that we've consumed. Anything doing with board gaming or tabletop gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Wayne, you highlighted a comment.
Yeah, that came in right as you were ending there. So Aaron Clark said, "I'll give a slight edge to variable game edge, especially if there's multiple different triggers," which is that's another topic too. Is there more than one trigger? Scythe isn't like that, but there's multiple avenues to get to the same trigger, I guess, in Scythe. Sometimes it can be frustrating, but the variable provides for the suspenseful moments. So it's more of the excitement that you get, from those variable things. So cool.
It leaves you with the best feelings.
Sometimes, if you win.
I don't know. That Ticket to Ride feeling can be rough because someone will trigger the end game, and you do. And like I said, I like having that extra round, right? Mm-hmm. But sometimes the way the game falls, you can't do anything with it, right? So you get that extra round, and there's nothing you can do with it.
Well, you have that decision.
You always need one more.
I could do nothing, or maybe play one train or two trains for a couple of points, or I can gamble, grab 3 new destinations.
More tickets.
And hopefully get one. And it's like when you do, you draw 3 and you hit all 3. It's like, woo, or you draw 3 and they're all 20-point tracks and you're not even close to any of them, So.
And you can only give back 2 of the 3. You have to keep one.
Keep one, yeah. So,
well, this past weekend was my trip to Hotlanta, where I got to drive up to Atlanta and catch the race up there, the season finale of the IMSA Endurance Racing. It is a big 10-hour race. Drive up there, play some board games, hang out with family, and then spend my weekend racing. So not a lot of gaming going on. And because that takes time off work, that means when I come back, I'm working longer hours just trying to catch up on the little bit of time that I took off. That's how it is. So my twig is going to be light. But things were happening while I was gone, so we'll come back to that. Let's see here. In the comments, how about the 2nd and 3rd dragon card? And that is an awesome.
There you go. That is
Rob,
a good one.
You gotta love that feeling.
Yes, that is a good one. Yeah, I don't know why that's acceptable. Now that you mention that, so why is that okay?
Because it's an ugly, ugly board game.
maybe you sit looking at the board too long, and no.
Just remind you of the dry, ugly Euros. That's all.
Yeah, because that one definitely can surprise you. You know that you flip it. I mean, it is in the second half, so it is dictated somewhat. But you can
Yeah,
still
but the
kind of plan
three
about how
dragons
long.
can be in the
Yeah,
top quarter of the second half.
yeah. They could come right behind each other, and it could end half as fast as it could have ended. And so I don't know, why is that acceptable? I guess because it's a lighter game.
Yes,
I,
30
I wouldn't
minutes
call it.
faster.
Yeah, yeah, I would say so. And it's not super thinky, not super depth. It's usually pretty. I mean, there's some crunchy decisions in there. Do I keep? What do I splay? What do I end up? Do I press my luck? I think because the press your luck part of that is most of the fun. But
That's a good
yeah,
point. That mechanism is already part of it. The push your luck. How much can I draw and
yeah,
get what I need without giving away too much to the other player? So you're already in that push your luck mode.
right. So you might you push your luck to see if you can draw one more card before that dragon comes out. So yeah, interesting. But yeah,
Good
good
call
good
out.
example.
Good call
Yep.
out. That's our boy Aaron out of
Hey,
Columbus,
Ron.
Ohio. C-Bus, is that what they call it? The kids call it nowadays? C-Bus?
Is that Columbus? C-Bus. I'm old.
That is a fact. All right,
Yes.
so I drove up there. I got up Friday morning and got everything ready and headed out to Atlanta. So when we got there Friday night, I brought my copy of Thunder Road Vendetta along with Thunder Road Vendetta Carnival of Chaos expansion. Looking forward to getting that one to the table. That's the big arena battler where they take the 3 roads, put them into a big circle in the middle, and then you just fight just
It's a
duke it
twisted
out.
twisted metal.
I haven't
version.
played it yet. We got to do it.
Oh, it didn't get played. So what happened was I showed up Friday night and I get to my cousin's house and we're excited about getting it to the table. We got 5 players. We're gonna have a blast. It's gonna be amazing. I look at the table and it's like a 2.5 foot wide, 6 foot long table. Really weird table. So like it was just not big enough to hold the new format, which is a circle with 3
Yeah.
roads sticking in. You need about 3.5 feet squared to be able to get this just the road on the table.
Mm.
So I shifted gears, puns intended.
Yeah,
Thunder Road
pun.
Vendetta, shifted gears and went just to regular Thunder Road. So we played regular Thunder Road, but it was everyone else's first time playing. It was my turn teaching. It was a solid hit. Like everyone loved it. The roars, the shooting, the blasting, the teenager Mikey's son, was in on it, just having a blast, shooting people, slamming people. They loved it. It was a big hit. Patrick from Armada Games, our buddy Patrick Brown. He's like the whole drive through Atlanta, all the way back home. That's all we talked about was Thunder
Talking
Road.
about it.
All
Wow.
the expansions,
That's
the
8 hours.
availability of it. We did bumper cars, or not. I'm
Oh
sorry.
yeah.
We did
No,
go-karts out in
go-karts.
Atlanta, and of course,
Did
when we
you make them
bumped
bumper
each
cars?
other, yeah, we were like, "Oh, I hit him with the slam die, bam!" We had a great time playing it. It was a super hit. Unfortunately, did not get to play the Carnival of Chaos expansion, so I'll have to report back when I can get that multiplayer played.
Yeah.
While I was away, though, my copy of Thunder Road Vendetta Chop Chop came in with the expansions. So the Chop Chop
This is
expansion
was from the Kickstarter, right?
Well,
Originally?
these are the retail versions of it.
Right.
So they
Okay.
took the expansions that are originally from the Maximum Chrome and they're selling them separate. So in here, I was able
You
to
have to
get
pay more money for it now.
Shut your
Yeah.
whore mouth.
Didn't get in early. Hmm.
So yes, I paid more than it would have been had I bought the Maximum Chrome.
And does it have all the same bits, or is it not as fancy as the Kickstarter?
The Kickstarter. I can't remember if the Kickstarter comes with anything fancier because they're already washed cars.
Mhm.
I think maybe a metal coin. You get a metal coin, and you get a big box that holds everything. That's nice too. But I'm getting all the expansions slowly. This is the one that gives you the asymmetric powers and the special powers for the individual cars. So each crew leader has their own special power that they get, their own special board where they get to activate their own special commands. But then on top of that, you're going to get 4 special powers that you get to add 1 to each of your 3 cards, discarding one of them. So your cars now also have special powers. So you got a special leader and special powers. So this was a hit when we played it at Dice Tower. I remember how people loved the idea of comboing up the character that they received along with the cards that they were adding to the car to try to like min-max their setup. So it kind of made it more of a gamer's game.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, that's
Kyle
one of the few
Jeeves in the chat.
times.
It's so good. Chop.
So
Yeah,
good.
He's got like all blinged out like scenes and add-ons and Etsy stuff, I think, and yeah.
I haven't gotten there yet.
He's all in on that.
No,
I'm on my way though. Aaron confirms C-Bus is approved.
approved.
Ron calls it. I call
Hey,
it that
Ron.
place down there.
Okay.
Then he says, of course it was a hit. Talking about Thunder Road, I'm assuming.
Mhm.
I also picked up the extra ammo expansion. We didn't use this when we were with Dan learning the game. The extra ammo expansion provides 5 different decks of cards. Each player will receive one of any of these modules you choose to play with. Right? So some of these are bounties where you get a card and it'll say, when you do this, you can trigger this bounty to get this. So they're like these, if you slam 2 cards in one turn, then flip this to receive this benefit. Like you can repair a car or something. So it kind of gives you some goals, little secret objectives. Some have special weapons or actions for your helicopter, like your aircraft. Some of them are one-shots for your cars. So like give you like a cannon you can fire with it. So just a bunch of different just flavor, just fun flavor. You decide how to mix and match these into your game. So I think this is almost like a little bit like Chop Shop in that it gives you some special abilities, but they're all like one-time effects. So I think this might be a good way to do with new players where you give them a little extra to think about, but they don't have a whole player board with special powers on every car. It's just one card they hang on to that they get to trigger when they want. So just a little extra there. So that came in.
Cool.
And then finally on this week's hauls is Ra.
The fancy one.
Rob.
The fancy Rob.
Gotta put a B on the end of that. Rob.
Look at this bad boy, guys. It came in and
it's a big box.
it's thick. Look at
It
it.
is.
It's thick.
Thick.
Comes with.
I like those
But
top.
how much thicker than the other copy?
Oh, I'll put it here on the table so you can
Yeah.
see.
It's kind of
Size
and
comparison.
that bag with
Fair size.
that bag with the wood tiles is monster.
Yeah.
It's a big old. Yeah,
So there's the the box for
like an inch and a
comparison
half. Inch and
Yeah.
a half. Yeah, and they're about the
Okay.
same width.
there. There's same footprint.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it is the same footprint. It's just
same
a
kind
little
of
bit
length and
taller.
width. Yeah. Okay.
But it comes with an extra baggie. The extra baggie is used for the metal coins. Instead of cardboard coins, everything is metal, 2-sided metal. One side is gold, and then the back side is like a pewter.
Yeah, so you can kind of hide what your totals are.
And then,
Oh,
of
nice.
course, the wooden
Mhm.
tiles. So you get the nice clack of the of the wood. So
Oh, yeah.
this, I'm excited to get this one played.
Yeah, it's real nice. It is hard, because they're so thick and kind of heavy. Getting to if you want to get to the bottom of that bag to really mix it up, it can be a little.
You shouldn't be digging to the bottom. Just take what's on top, Wayne.
Yeah, Rob's favorite.
Oh,
Rah.
yeah.
Rah.
Rah.
So this is exciting. This came in. And then
They
finally,
should
the
call
last
it
thing I'll talk
Rob.
about on my twig, the last thing I'll bring up is I taught Harvest. Wayne, this is the one that you taught me at Dice Tower, and I immediately found a seller out of Japan to get a copy
Oh
of it
yeah, the
from.
little quick little Harvard. Yeah, the little brutal.
Yeah. Okay. Mhm.
Dude,
game.
that had to be like 7 games back to back to back Sunday morning before we drove out for Florida.
Yeah.
Like
It does
was
that.
like re-rack it. We got 5 players playing. Re-rack it. Let's go again. And it was just it was easy to teach. They picked it up and we had a great time. Harvest, I can't recommend it enough. Tiny pocket game, take it with you. Play anywhere, teach with anyone. Super small footprint. I'm so worried that something will happen to that game, like the cards, because
Yeah, because they're
it's so
tiny
hard to
little
find.
thin cards. Yeah, it's got to be a game. I mean, like more and more of the games from Japan are coming over here and being released. I gotta imagine that All Play or somebody's gonna pick it up because it's not a new game. It's been around for a while. So
Let's hope. We can only hope.
yeah,
So that's my twig this week. That's my week in gaming. Who's up?
Nice.
Ready,
Rob,
Wayne?
you want? It doesn't matter.
I can jump in.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So I got to go to SpielCon, which is the Tampa Gaming Guild puts on every year. This is their 3rd annual, I believe. It could be 4th, but I believe it's 3rd annual. Somebody will correct me in the chat, probably Jim. But they rent out a place in Orlando. When I say a place, it's a home. The one they did this year was the first time they'd been to this particular one. I think the last couple of years they had been somewhere else. But the place was 15 bedrooms and 15 and a half bathrooms. Yeah, it was $1,000 a night. But once you split that up, there were different size rooms with different numbers of beds in them, and so it wasn't standard. But I think Jim paid for. He stayed in the Moana themed room, which was really cool. It was really neat. But he paid. I think it was maybe $200 for 3 nights in this room. It is right next to SeaWorld. I didn't realize how close it was until I was driving out. It's like 2 blocks down the road from SeaWorld. You could walk to the main entrance of SeaWorld probably from this place, just around the corner from the Caribe, which is where they hold the Dice Tower events now in Orlando. But anyway, a really cool place. They had electric pinball machines. They had a pool table. They had a karaoke stage. On the second floor, there was when you first go up the stairs, there's actually a stage with microphones and 2 monitors and big speakers on each side of the stage where you could do karaoke. Rooms were not all themed. About half the rooms were themed. Half of them were just regular kind of plainish rooms. But they had there was a Toy Story room with like a big claw thing coming down, and it was a ball pit that the kids could play in. There was another room that had a twirly slide coming down from the bunk beds that went into a foam pit where you could bounce around in the foam blocks. I mean, really cool house. But anyway, besides that, they did a 3-day event. It was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Officially, most of them, or a lot of them, left Monday morning. Oh, sounds like we got a call though. That's
Beans and Dice podcast. State your name. Where are you calling from?
This is Joey from Colorado.
Joey.
Hey, Joey.
How's everybody doing?
We are well. We're getting into our twig, talking about what we've been playing this last week, what we've been into.
I hope I didn't cut off. Was it Rob?
No,
you're good. No, we want to be cut off. This is your show.
Okay with that.
Well, I saw you had Raw out.
Yes, sir.
I also wanted to say, well, last week whenever I called in, I was on a short time frame. I got a little more time today, but
awesome.
I said I got the last upgraded version of Raw from Target, but the upgraded version just means the standard 25th century, but not the wooden pieces like you got. Okay. I saw that.
Yep.
Yeah. All I know is that this new version is a great version. The copy that you got, like compared to the older versions, this thing's it is an upgrade.
It's still nice.
Yeah, no, it is great, and I don't think I'll play through it enough. Probably, hopefully, I do to actually see wear and tear on it. But anyways, I figured even if nothing else, I think all the centerpieces for the game are all the same size. So if I ever want to just buy, an upgraded pieces to it, I can do that, and still use it with my regular.
Yeah, I believe that's right. Everything else it's all standard size. Yep.
Yeah. But what I forgot to tell you last week is I did try one of our 5 games that we played in 5 hours was Furnace. You had recommended to me for the solo bartering or bidding. And so I did get to play that, not solo, but I played with 2 other people. And that was right up my alley. Super crunchy in a short amount of time.
Yes. It's got that White Castle feel.
Burnt my brain within, yes, exactly. It almost burnt my brain within 5 minutes. So
let me ask.
I wanted to ask
Joey,
how does that? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just real quick.
But go ahead with your question.
Okay, and real quick, there are 2 ways to play. So they're both in the manual, but there are 2 completely valid ways to play your engine. And so in one version, you are actually probably Carlos has played a lot more recently. He can tell it better. But in one version, as you take the cards, you have to put them in a specific order, and you can't change that order. They have to go on. Is it on the ends, Carlos?
No, you can insert. You can insert
anywhere.
companies,
okay.
But once you lay it down, you're set. Like this is the order things will move in. All you can do is add more companies.
Yeah, we didn't play it that way.
Okay, so you played where you tap them,
We
anyone that you
rearranged
want, and
after
take this.
every.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
think about
it's
how
fun
much
both
brain
ways.
burn you had with
Yep.
just that model. Imagine when you buy something, you have to decide where you put it in, and it's going to stay in that spot. The brain burn is strong. However, I found
It's interesting. I think it might be easier. Well, less brain burn because your decision's already made. You only have to make the decision once.
Right.
And then when you get to the end of the rounds, those fly because the engine's going to run.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
But I was setting like pieces on the cards to say, okay, I'm paying this with these. I gained that. I would put what I gained underneath it, and then I would go to the next card. Okay, so now I have all this to spend on this or not, So I didn't win, but it was a really good one. So I'm interested in how does the solo work on that one?
So the solo is going to be okay. So in the base game, you get this die that you can use for when you're playing 2-player. It actually kind of picks a spot using the die roll. You roll the die, you count a number of cards from left to right, and then you put the AI's bidding token on there based on what's available. In the new expansion, it adds these barons, almost like these AI bots that have flavor. So not only are you rolling the die to decide which to indicate like where it's going to go, but it has these preferences. So it's going to go after these types of businesses. Like the oil baron wants to bid on cards that give oil, that produce oil.
Okay.
The capitalist wants to bid on the ones that give the most businesses, and I can't remember exactly how it goes. But that's the general idea. You've got like 4 or 5 different AI bots you can choose from, and they each have a different flavor.
Okay. I would be interested. I didn't get to borrow it from him, but I'm sure he'll let me borrow it. And
with expansion,
I will get it and I'll play the
thing. With or with expansion?
No, just the base.
Just the base. Tell your buddy. Tell him to watch this episode right here. Timestamp 42 minutes 6 seconds in. Let me get a little message to him here. Let me get deep into the camera. Hey, buddy, you need to get the expansion. Okay, you got to get the Interbellum expansion for Furnace. It is amazing. That way, Joey can borrow it.
Let me just say, anytime Carlos can find a way to add a die to a Euro game, he's all over it. Mess up a good Euro with luck.
Well, that's similar to my adding. Okay, I won't go to the secret hideout. So my daughter just warned me from going to the secret hideout.
Love it. I love it. You're like one of us, Joey. Like that's the kind of interruptions we get all day, every day. I've seen Wayne signing homework live on episode.
Well, speaking of which, let's see, solo. Have you ever played Race for the Galaxy with the solo expansion? The first expansion has the solo bot on it.
I've not. Race for the Galaxy was something I played decades ago at the old house, Rob.
Yeah, okay.
That's the last time I played it, when I was at the old house.
I've only played it twice, and I've never played it solo.
Yeah, that bot. Well, for me, it destroyed me. I almost think it's overpowered, but I'm sure some people that are very good at the game could potentially beat it, but I don't see how. So anyways, but adding dice to a Euro game, that reminds me of the recommendation that I have of adding the D20 to what's the D&D?
Lords of Waterdeep.
Shadows.
There you go.
Yeah, Lords of Waterdeep. I was thinking Scoundrels of Skullport. But anyways, I enjoy that. But I didn't even lead off with my standard first question until you get it. Did you get For Northwood yet?
Still not yet. Still waiting for that one to come in. I'm looking forward to it. I've only gotten the plays in on BGA, but I sit on the computer for 9 hours a day. Like the last thing I want to do is be on a computer afterwards. So I haven't had a chance to play it more on BGA. I want the paper copy. I want to move cards, manipulate items. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I haven't even got an email update.
I work it. Go ahead.
I haven't even got an email. I'm gonna have to go check to see. Is my order still out there?
Well, hopefully it comes. I thought it was. You said it was like supposed to deliver in September.
That's what it said on the website. But I'm looking at my watch.
Well, hopefully it
it's
comes to
October
you before Thanksgiving.
2026.
So, oh, shoot, I had something to say. Oh, hold on, it's coming back. Oh, hold on. Okay, I'm gonna have to step outside. No, that's okay.
How's that conversation go with
let's
wifey?
see.
Like you're like, hey, I'm calling my buddies. Like, how does that go?
Well, it's funny. Have you did you ever watch Roseanne?
Yes.
There's an episode, a Mother's Day episode, where they all come over for a barbecue, and Roseanne's grandma is in it, and she they ask her to, anyways, she's leaving at the end of the night, and she's rushing Jackie out the door, and Jackie's like, there's this text call-in show that she calls into every week, and the grandma pipes in. She's like, if I don't call, they worry.
That's good.
That's what I was telling her.
Listen, guys, if there's ever a week where Joey doesn't call in, we need to put out like an APB.
Yeah.
Find Joey.
I did join the Discord. I'm Joey Mack on there.
Okay, that was you. I wasn't sure.
And you
that
guys
was you.
all said hi. Yep, that was me. But I didn't even pester you with anything. I enjoy getting all the messages during the day, but I can't always respond. But someone did put out there, they were wondering about Clans of Caledonia, and that one is one of them that I played recently, the solo, and I played it like 2 or 3 times back to back, because that solo version is very good, very fast. Reminded me very much of what's the one I also just played, Castles of Burgundy solo. Also plays very quickly and is very satisfying to play. I saw Essenspiel, the preview for that. I saw there's a expansion coming for Castle Combo, which we got to play in our 5 and 5, and that one has been quite a good experience too. Have any of you guys played that?
We have played Castle Combo on the BGAs, right, fellas? I don't think
BGA.
anyone
Played it on BGA. I played it in person, I think, at Dice Tower East, I think, this past year, didn't I? I think
Was
I
it? Okay.
Yeah. I think it's one of the ones I played. But yeah, it's a good game.
Yeah, that one was great. And I don't know what else I had to say right now. I wanted to make sure I got my call in, though. I'm trying to
Caller number one, baby.
Anything. I got
Well, you got to weigh in.
Show now.
You got to weigh in, Joey, on our topic of the night. I don't know if you caught the beginning of our discussion, but we were talking about do you prefer games that have a determined number of rounds and that will end in a determined time, or do you prefer games where you can decide by your actions when the end of the game is?
Ooh, give me an example of one of each.
Sure.
Right, determined rounds.
Here.
Furnace, White Castle, right? There's a set number of rounds we're going to play.
Yes.
It will end.
Yes.
I
like those.
I'm trying to think
Variable.
of games that he's talked about. Variable.
Scythe, Terraforming
I
Mars.
know what else I wanted to ask about.
Terraforming Mars, Scythe. Those are ones that have
Mars,
variable
I've
ending.
not played, but I had the new version Ares Expedition.
Oh, I'm taking my friend request back. I sent a friend request to you on this. I'm taking it back if you haven't played Terraforming Mars.
No.
I like Ares Expedition.
And also with Terraforming the Ares Expedition, it's either in my to-go pile or I got rid of it already because it scratched the same itch as and it's based off of it as Race for the Galaxy.
Oh,
yes.
So I'm gonna say determined amount of rounds.
Right answer. Right answer. Don't let them sway you. You're in the majority here.
I'm all alone, guys.
You're alone. No friends.
Well, only because sometimes it can go long. It can go beyond what you're sort of satisfied with what you've done in the game, and I don't know. Maybe I just don't play as much for competition. And so I sort of want to see what it can do before I really want to push it towards hey, let me just stack up, play after play, round after round after round after indeterminate amounts of rounds, which could go on and on. What's actually very similar to that, what's the one with the cows?
Western Trail?
Great Western Trail.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
The other day, whenever I was trying to finish that one out, I was playing two-handed, and I was sort of done with the game, so I just sort of started speeding through at the end.
All right, and you had one comment for us?
Can come get it. Yes. You guys had mentioned the trick-taking whenever you had the guys on that made a new trick-taking game.
The Breakers.
And you had mentioned, yes, euchre within that. Do you guys play euchre much?
I never have.
I learned euchre at work through a coworker from Michigan. He taught me. I played it. I grew up playing trick takers myself, but Puerto Rican trick takers. So I enjoyed it, but no, outside of 2007, that's probably the last time I played euchre.
Okay, that if I was gonna make a poll for that, it would be best games to play with a deck of cards. If I've got the people, euchre has got to be my number one. I love that game so much, so much so that we just went home over the summer, and one of my friends, her mother was having a birthday party, and she was having a euchre tournament for that. And I got in touch with one of my friends. We got on a team. We went home. I hadn't played in years, and we played, and we won the tournament, and it was great.
Nice.
And part of that tournament, though, was what they call a Grand Prix style. And I know you said you haven't played in a while, but you play to 10 points, right?
Yep.
And so the style of this tournament, though, was it's not just that you win or lose your game, but your points, you can go above 10. And so you ended up playing 6 games total. And basically whatever you ended with was your point total. And then you add up all your point total at the very end. And the top point total wins the tournament. And so if you're at 9 and you go loner and you score 4 points, well, your score is not just 10. You didn't just win the game. Your total is 13 because you score all those points. And so it was just a really great version of the game that wasn't quite the same as, what we used to play, which is just, hey, we play until someone wins 10, and then we'll play again. We'll switch partners and play again and this, that, and the other. But yeah, man, I love euchre, and I remembered you guys mentioning that, and I never spoke about it, but gosh, do I love euchre. In fact, I just taught it to some people at work a couple days ago. I walked in, he said, you don't like being on a computer. I work in IT, so yes, the last thing I want to do when I come home is have a computer. If you've ever heard the term the blacksmith with the wooden stove or the plumber with the leaky pipe.
That's me. That is a great call out.
The mechanic with the leaky engine, you do it all day, and so the last thing you want to do when you come home is work on your own stuff. So
fair. That's fair.
I feel you on the not wanting to be on a computer.
I guess screen fatigue. Aaron Clark says lots of euchre in Ohio. I'm not sure if that's a comment to liking the game or not. It's a very agnostic comment.
Big Midwestern.
Just a statement. Just a fact. Just a fact.
There's lots of it.
Yeah, I grew up in Southern Illinois, and I learned it when I was on a trip with my grandma up to Chicago. It was whenever Pulp Fiction came out. It was on video because we watched that. I was too young, so I had to turn away at a couple points. But it was when we were up there for a Christmas gathering, and my uncles or family members, I don't know, they were all playing euchre, and so I learned it at a real young age. I'm 43 now. So, but yeah, man, that is one of those games where if I could start a club for something other than board games, it would be, or I would add it in there, it would be euchre. So,
It's always kind of interesting how like euchre is like a Midwestern thing, and then you have hearts and spades, or spades is like a Northeast kind of thing, and you know, I don't know, South, but it's like different areas of the country have different kind of trick taking games that are like the game that most people play. Always
I
found that
played a
kinda
lot of hearts
interesting.
and spades. Yeah.
We'll leave on
Well,
this note
speaking
here,
of,
Joey. What
oh,
do you know?
sorry.
Do you know what they call a quarter pounder with cheese in France? Go ahead, brother.
Royale with cheese.
He said Pulp Fiction. I had to go there.
Little Big Mac.
Well, I'll leave with this one, then I'll let you go. Have you ever seen a movie called Escanaba into Moonlight?
No.
No, never heard of it.
It takes place in Michigan, in the Upper Peninsula. They're the Yoopers, and it's actually Jeff Daniels. He wrote the movie, and back when I was in a band, one of my guitarists was like, "Here, you got to check this movie out." So I did, and it's such a great movie. But part of the movie centers around them playing euchre, and it's like sort of a it's spooky, but supernatural. There's a supernatural presence in the movie, and euchre plays a part in it too. But yeah, he's like, well, I won't say anything more about it, but you should definitely check it out. But it's on Tubi. But the issue is, and I love it that it's free on Tubi, and I love that people can watch it. But they did something where they like cut out the widescreen version of it, so it's the full screen, but for some reason it like jitters, and so as you're watching it, the screen is constantly sort of flickering up and down, and it's almost impossible to watch there. But if you can watch it some way outside of that, which I'm sure you can just like rent it or buy it digitally, or if you're like me, you can buy the VHS and watch it on VCR.
The IT guy watching it on VHS.
What's the name of it again?
So anyways, yeah. Escanaba, Escanaba, in the VA Moonlight.
Okay.
Yeah, Jeff Daniels,
great
big Michigan proponent. I remember he had a whole campaign for hawking how cool Michigan is.
Yeah. Not to prolong it, but speaking of him, did you know he plays guitar?
Did not know that.
If anybody's a guitar player out there, he has a video of him on I think it's the Kelly Clarkson show, where he comes out and he's like, "Hey, your music, I also play guitar," and he plays this guitar song. You should check out the video. He is incredible and plays such a great song. I highly suggest you go check that out. I love Jeff Daniels, just from the 90s, big Dumb and Dumber fan.
Well, I mean, he's also didn't he do the Civil War movie in Gettysburg? Was it? I think it was in that one.
Oh, and you know what? And I never saw that.
Well, hey, get your 3 hours and
good.
40 minutes ready,
Yeah,
buddy.
that's good.
That's a great film. But he's got range. He has range. Okay, so this is a PSA to everyone listening or watching. This is how the show goes. When people call in, they take over, and the topics go anywhere. So if
We
you
just
don't
go.
like it,
We just go with it.
you call in and change the
Change
topic.
the topic.
On that note,
Right, yeah.
my man Joey, another
Make
great
it your
call.
own.
Glad to have
Appreciate you calling, Joey.
I appreciate it, and I'll ship you my my BGA name.
I sent you
through
a
the
request so
Discord,
we can DM or PM or whatever the acronym is.
Whatever the
for
kids
it.
are saying these days. Yeah.
And that way I can find you on BGA. We can get some White Castle going.
Yeah, and
There
if
you
you're not
go.
in our BGA group, drop your name in the online game thing, and I'll add you to the group.
Yeah, for sure. And White Castle, which is a misnomer for me, because I actually don't like the White Castle actual burgers because they cook them on onions, and I hate onions.
I love how this show
Good man.
goes. The guy fits right in. Like the segues.
Just here and
Good night,
there,
Joey.
whatever. Good night.
All right, you guys have a good one. Thank you. All right, bye-bye.
That's our man Joey calling in from Colorado. Aaron did answer the question on the euchre. He says, never had a choice, but I love it. When talking about euchre. So I guess there wasn't an option for other trick-taking games. Speaking of that, Aaron, in the comments, are you going to get the Origins, the new trick taker from your favorite board game company, Stonemaier Games?
You mean Origin Story, not Origin.
Origin Story? Yeah, Origin is a different game, but yeah, Origin
Or
Story,
and Origins is the conference, not a...
Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah.
English is not good looking. Beansanddice podcast. State your name. Where you calling from?
Gentlemen, it's Chris from Tampa Gaming Guild. How's it going?
Oh,
Hey, Chris.
Federspiel.
How are you?
Hello, hello.
Welcome to the show.
How's everyone?
I don't know if you've ever called
Thank
in
you.
before. Have you?
I've called in before. Called
Okay.
in a couple years ago for when I was at the Dice Tower.
Welcome
Hey,
back.
Give you the
Welcome back.
beans.
Yay!
Thank you. Rob was talking about SpielCon. So I wanted to correct some information on that.
We appreciate
Oh,
that.
all right.
Well, Rob stated that it was a TGG thing. It's actually not. It's a more of a personal thing for our
Oh,
local game.
okay.
And it actually originated in 2017. 2017 was the first SpielCon / ShirkerCon. It's originally called ShirkerCon. And the original person, his last name was Shirker, so he did it. You guys have Russ out there. Russ used to be the president of TGG.
Yes,
Yep.
I remember us.
Yeah, he was the one that originally did it, and then he stopped doing it, and I took it over, and I've been doing it ever since. So now
Nice.
it's SpielCon. So yeah, we're all-
Oh, it's your last name now.
Yeah.
Spiel.
I see
How
what
that
you did
works.
there.
Yeah.
And Just
Clever,
to
huh?
be clear, for all the viewers at home, no, this is not a TGG thing. Do not ask. Contrary to what Robert is
No.
saying.
So what did you
There
get
was
played there? I
also
know.
Rob there.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I got a bunch of games played there. The big highlight for me for the weekend was we got a 9-player game of Sidereal Confluence going. So that was a lot of
Oh,
fun.
How long did that take?
That didn't take long. It took about, with Teach, took about 3 hours.
Okay, not bad.
It's a very social game. I know that we got a friend of the show who designed his own social game. I remember that was one of his favorites, was Sidereal Confluence.
Yeah, I enjoy it a lot. I really like the the wheeling and dealing, the haggling, and the player interaction, and the fact that for the most part turns are timed, so you know it's going to end. Which kind of goes back to your guys' other question of do you prefer timed turn games or non-timed turn games? And I would say I would prefer timed games because you kind of have a general idea of when the game is going to end. And for the most part, timed games I find they never really overstay their welcome. Some games overstay their welcome.
100%.
All right, so
I agree.
I'm still alone. I've got
Still the
no
minority.
friends,
Yep. With
no
one more
friends.
for the majority.
I am the minority. Thank you for calling that out, Robert.
Pointing out the obvious. Yeah.
Carlos needs some love.
Last thing I wanted to say is just give you guys a quick update on how Cardboard for Kids is going.
Oh yes, cool.
We're up to about 30 games now, so we're about 20-25% of our goal. So games are trickling in. They usually pick up within the last 2 weeks. We usually get a lot of donations in the last 2 weeks, but I'm really hoping that we get at least 130 this year to beat last year's goal. But I think it might be a little tough this year because time constraints with it only being 3 weeks away. So
Yeah, I
It is
felt
what it
this
is,
one
but,
was
you know.
tighter. Was this run a little tighter than normal, or did we just get in late?
no, it was run tighter as normal because I've had a lot of real life stuff that's been taking up a lot of my time. So I wasn't able to get the notifications out as quickly as possible. So, but it is what it is. So
Stuff happens. Yep.
we'll see what we have at the end.
All right, so that's a
I
challenge
think we can
to
beat
the
it.
beaners on this show.
Yeah.
To all my beans out there,
You
make
can
sure
do it.
you're going to last week's episode. I also posted a separate video of just the segment where we talked about the Cardboard for Kids. There's a link in there to an Amazon list. Buy something on there, it goes straight to the kids. Okay, there's no middleman, Nobody else getting this stuff. It goes straight to the kids. Buy some games for those kids with cancer over at One Voice Academy.
And November 2nd is the actual event for the Car War for Kids. We're having it at TGG. It's on a Sunday, so anyone and everyone is welcome to come, hang out, meet some of the kids, meet some of the volunteers, meet Marianne, who's the president of One Voice. You can meet me if you feel like hanging out with me as well. And we'd love to see you guys there if you feel like coming and hanging out, or if anyone listening to the podcast wants to come hang out, come join us.
So that's folks' last chance to bring games in person if they're going to?
Yeah, you could bring games in person as well that day because the official handoff is like 5 o'clock. So.
What time is that at? I'm putting it in my calendar here. November 2nd. What time are you guys getting going?
When does the event start?
It's 2 to 5 is the official time.
2 to 5.
2 to
and
5.
then all open to the public, it sounds like.
Gamers and non-gamers alike will have all kinds of events and games, set up. I'm planning a little pitch card tournament. I might do represent bet again.
Nice.
Fun stuff like that.
Cool.
I'm putting it in my calendar. Awesome.
Cool.
All right, Chris, thanks for calling and keeping me straight. I'll try to get the rest of it right here in the rest of my my discussion of SpielCon.
Oh, that's no problem. Did you have a good time, Rob?
Oh, I did. Yeah, it was great. Anytime getting together with a good group of gamers, and we're, all gamers are good gamers, I think. Most. Well, I don't know. There's probably a
Have
few
you met
bad ones
Jim?
out there.
Have you met Jim?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Jim. Yeah, Jim Odak. Anyway, but it was great. I appreciate y'all opening it and letting us come play for the day. It was a lot of fun.
Of course, yeah, no problem. Next year we're talking about maybe doing it at extra days of Thursday through Sunday.
So,
if you guys are interested, I'll send you guys the info, and if anybody wants to come hang out, they're free to join us. Because every year it seems to get bigger and bigger. I think this year, including the people that came just for the day, we were over 30 people, which we started with like a dozen. So it's
Nice.
pretty cool watching it grow and meeting people. Some people, come from, out of state, come hang out for the weekend. And it's fun just seeing those people you don't see, but like once a year, and play some games that are on the table and just hang out and chill.
Was it just me, or was Ross the game of dancing being played there? The Mahir's game, or was that a different?
Don't think so.
Okay, I swore I saw a picture of it over this past weekend. I was busy at the track trying to keep up on what was going on.
The Game Found thing has just started, so I think some people were posting pictures of it from the Game Found, and then all the reviews hit this week. So I know Dice Tower and a bunch of other people reviewed it.
Connected with SpielCon. For some reason, I connected the two. I know Mahir's out there in the Orlando area.
Yeah, we'll have to get him to come to a SpielCon. Yeah, we can pull that.
Last but not least, Carlos.
Dime.
Blood Bowl 7's stuff got posted on the Armada Discord. I pinged you. You didn't respond, though, so there should be a ping waiting for you if you want to go check it out at some point.
Thank you.
Carlos ain't so good with the social media, but yeah.
Yeah, me and especially this past weekend, I was in Atlanta for a race and then got back to work. It's been nuts. But let me get into thank you for the heads up.
You requested that I let you know.
Yep.
This is my official letting you know.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, actually, and this is what I tell my employees. I'm like, listen, don't send me an email or anything. Like, find me. Like, call my wife, right? Like,
he's on the show Thursday night. You can always just call. So, employees of Carlos, you can call him Thursday night and tell him what you think.
A check or something, like, call me. Because computers and I once I'm off the computer, I'm not touching it. I will find. So, okay. So tell us more about the Sevens at Armada for anybody who's in the Tampa area who wants to hear more. What are you doing with Sevens at Armada?
Well, Armada Games hosts a weekly, not Sevens, just a standard Blood Bowl league, and some of the coaches are not able to join because of real life commitments, and other coaches are new and want to learn, but are kind of scared to join a league against the players that know how to play. So I decided to create, Blood Bowl Sevens league. And it's kind of tailored around, because Blood Bowl 7 is kind of like, Blood Bowl Lights. It's tailored around coaches that don't have a lot of time and can't commit to a weekly schedule. Newer coaches that want to learn the game. lighthearted, more open to format league. And every 3 months, I plan on doing what's known as the Squig Bowl, which turns the ball itself into a squig that runs around the field.
Which is kind of like
I've got special rules for it.
A little creature with 2 legs, kind of bouncy, squishy, runs around.
Yep. The league has basically taken a squig, sewed a ball into its skin, and thrown it out on the field, and that's how you score. You got to go grab a squig, hope it doesn't bite you, and run off, and try and hold it and try and score with it.
Odd.
In addition to that, I've come up with some custom rules for like sponsors. I saw you roll your eyes, Rob. You know it sounds like.
Oh yeah, no, this is nap time for me. But go ahead.
I'm in the Bubble Sevens League chat right now, reading through. He's put a lot of work into this. How do you like that tour play? The tour play for managing the league. I know it's fairly new, probably like 3 years old that I can think of. The tournament software. How are you liking it?
It seems okay. I'm not super familiar with it. This is my first time running the league, so we'll see how it goes. I used to use Halfling Scribe, which is an old Excel spreadsheet like 10 years ago that everybody used.
Oh, okay. Don't keep talking because Wayne's gonna get too excited. Excel
Don't say
spreadsheet.
spreadsheet.
I see his eyes getting drooping. But another thing I'm doing is sponsorships for because Bubble Sevens' concept is like lower level leagues like AHL as compared to NHL. So non like Bloodweiser, but other smaller products sponsorships. So, for example,
I'm looking
one of the
at
ones
them.
that came up with. Are you looking at the sponsorships right now?
Let me share my screen. My screen. This is. You guys are
You
nuts.
can show them the OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Michael from Armada came up with it. The guy that runs Armada, he came up with it. I'm not taking credit for OnlyFans, but I'm designing some of the other ones, and it's still a work in progress. But it's a lot of fun.
5 ghouls.
So yeah, OnlyFans.
And 5 ghouls, burgers, and flies.
Yeah.
Croc
I scraped a whole
Sports.
bunch of logos for that. But
This is the role play aspect of Blood Bowl. For folks that don't know, Blood Bowl really has a role play piece to it. Like you're a manager of a team, coaching a team, getting sponsors, getting players. You don't play the players that are on the board. There's 2 terms in the rules. One is player and one is coaches. You're the coach. The players do what you try. Well, the players, you hope they do what you ask them to do, right? You as the coach call the plays and try to, but the miniatures on the board are the players, and whether or not they fulfill what you ask them to do is up to the dice. And that's the fun part. As players skill up, they're going to do things that get them skill points. As a coach, you can spend those points to skill them up and get them new upgrades or new upskills that let them be better at what they do. It is an RPG on a football field.
And the cool thing about Blood Bowl Sevens is as your players get skills, they can actually get drafted by actual real Blood Bowl teams.
And that's
So
the part
your
that
team
sucks.
and you got to replace them.
Because you are in the minor leagues, Rob.
Awesome.
If you get a player that like skills up too high, there's a chance that he gets drafted up to the majors. And
You
he's
take my
out
player
for
and punching
team.
you in the face.
Right. So you want to spread out their development, so you don't make one good player, but like you slowly bring up the whole team. It's very interesting, intricate balance in Sevens.
Yeah, it's a lot of silly fun, and I've set up this league, to try and cater to those coaches, like I said, that don't just have the ability to play on a weekly schedule, or are new and are scared, and don't want to dedicate an entire, dedicated spot to taking up a league that they don't feel confident in. So, and another thing is about the Squig Bowl, which is every 3 months, which is the quote unquote finals for the Bubble Sevens League. Is your record doesn't matter as long as you either play 3 games within that 3 months, or you teach one new coach how to play Blood Bowl, you're guaranteed a spot in the Squig Bowl tournament. So, and if you win the Squig Bowl tournament, you will receive 2 boxed teams. However, there's a catch. One of those boxed teams has to go to a different coach, and I've designed that so that to build camaraderie within the Blood Bowl community, which is pretty cool.
That's dang near $100.
That's a cool idea.
trying to support, Armada, trying to support the store, obviously the local store, and support the global community and that kind of stuff. So,
All right, so Chris, for deadline, so what are the toll gates for this one? If you want to register for the first season of Blood Bowl 7s at Armada, when do you have to do it by, and when does it start?
It's running right now. You can go register right now. There's no specific deadline. I'll probably put out a specific date for when the first Squid Bowl tournament will happen. We're mid-October, so it probably won't happen until after the first of the year. But yeah, if you are interested, each coach can have up to 3 teams registered, and one of your teams will receive a random sponsorship. The other 2 teams will not have a sponsorship. But if you register less than 3, then only one of the 2 will have a sponsorship. But yeah, register if you're interested in playing. Join up, get some games going. Have fun.
All right, brother. I'm glad you're doing it. Thank you for the heads up.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna have to find you. At minimum, I'm gonna get a game in with you. At minimum. So right now, it's getting back into the flow of Blood Bowl. You need let me know what nights you're gonna be up there, so that I can skedaddle out of here and at least get a match with you.
All right, I'll have to send you a friend invite on Discord so I can ping you.
Yeah, let's start a chat and start scheduling. At least let me start getting in the flow of games before I commit to a full season. Because right now I'm in a Thunder Alley season, which I'm failing at completely because I suck at this game. And then I can at least I want to play you. I want to play you in some Blood Bowl. Get me. It's been over. Geez, the kid will be 2, so it's probably just over 2 years since I've played. So I need to get back in the swing of things. Let's start with a game. Set a date for me.
All right, man. I'll send you a ping. And Robin Wayne, you are more than welcome to come and join as well.
I tried to get Robin because I thought being a sports game, he'd be for
I've played. That ain't a sport. Come on. You got a ball with legs running around. Come on. What are you talking about? I can try it again. I've played.
I wouldn't mind giving it a try. It's just to be able to get down there is difficult.
Especially 7s is less than an hour. So it's
like 7s is not super quick.
Where Blood Bowl proper is at least 3 hours. Great call out. Thanks, Chris. Give me a ping. Let me know what nights you're going to be up there so I can get my schedule around it and at least get back in the swing of things with you.
All right, guys. Sound good. Have a good night. And
you too. Thanks for calling, Chris.
Sometime.
Night, Fetterspiel.
Yep.
Hey, bye.
Yep. Night.
Cool. Night.
I took the keeping the show buying games live. I just went out to Amazon and found the one game I would buy for that I looked through the list. So I bought Karuba for the Kids with Cardboard.
Oh, nice. Kids with Cardboard.
Yeah, I like that. I like this.
Way to go. I got to get on there. I haven't been on there yet.
Yeah, just picked one out. So, and it looks like Ross, whatever it is, Ross was at SpielCon. Because Jim said,
okay.
Played Ross. Yeah, that's
Chuck brought it.
Yeah.
I knew it. I'm not crazy.
Somebody had a copy of it, a demo or a pre-production.
Chuck is that's Chuck. Chuck is a game designer himself. He was at SpielCon with me on Sunday. I met him at Dice Tower Retreat. He was a friend of Jim's, and we played several games together all day. Actually, one day we played games together. And he designs solo modes in games. So he's designed solo modes in about 4 or 5, and again, he'll probably correct me, 5 or 6 different games. He's working on some big ones now. Speakeasy, I don't think it's a secret that Speakeasy, a Lacerda game that's getting ready to release.
Actually,
shortly
delivered to Alex's house while we were at the game day.
Oh, there you go. So he designed the solo mode in that. So he designs a bunch of solo modes. So he destroyed me at almost every game I think I played on Sunday that I was getting ready to get into. Actually, every game I played, I did play with him, and I think he beat me every time. So no surprise there. But yeah, those big minds. But
comment in the chat here, Hex to Hex. I'm not familiar with that one, but it says awesome concept for a stream, guys. Glad I caught this. Thanks. Glad you like it. We're a bunch of old guys. You know, we grew up listening to talk radio and call-in shows. We thought it'd be fun, so I'm glad you found it too.
We just talk games, talk fun stuff.
Hey, if Chuck is still watching, and I don't know, is it like a DJ where we can make requests? Like, hey, DJ,
there you go.
Can you make a solo module for Thunder Road Vendetta? Can a brother get one for Thunder Road Vendetta?
Put him on Thunder Road Vendetta? Well, he likes his heavy games, but I think he could be up to that challenge. But yeah.
Chuck says he Nucleum is the main one, not Speakeasy, but Weather Machine.
Okay, cool.
Weather Machine. There we go. Sorry. Yeah. Again, getting corrected there, but that's fine.
Someone stole half your beard, looking sharp. I think we're talking about Rob here.
Me?
He trimmed it down.
Trimmed it down.
Well, I did trim it down a little bit, and then I say I've got the gray in some areas, and still the salt and pepper thing. So yeah, it's sometimes
Dark
if
on
I turn the right
one
way,
side, light
it
on
looks
the
like
other
I've cut off half of it or something. Yeah, it depends on whether I'm feeling younger or older each day. So which way I look at you. Anyway.
So Rob,
But
you
yeah, I'll
were
just
in
jump
your
back-
twig. You were at
Yeah, my tw-
SpielCon, and then we got a call from Chris.
Right, SpielCon. So I got there Sunday. They opened it up. Chris opened it up, I should say. I shouldn't say they because it's again corrected, not a TGG thing. It's right now a Chris Federspiel thing. So he opened it up on Sunday and allowed just people to come and play games. So even if you weren't staying for the 3 nights, you could just come over to the place. So they sent me the address, and and as he said on Sunday was probably their most people, I would imagine, because it was probably 20, 25 people there all at the same time on Sunday, maybe 30, as Chris said. But anyway, I got to play several new games. Actually, most of the games I played, well, 3 of the 5 were new to me games. I won't go into super depth on them because I know we're running here, and Wayne still got some stuff to talk about from his game day. But Coloma is a game I've wanted to play for a while, and I got a chance to play it. Coloma, I was trying to think earlier how to explain Coloma. Coloma is a worker placement game where you've got about probably about 25, 30-ish worker placement spots. And without getting into a whole bunch of depth and detail, the spots trigger 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they're all numbered, and they're going to trigger in that order. So what you do is you're placing all of your workers one at a time. So I place one, you place one, the next person, we go around the table and we place all of our workers. And then we trigger all of those actions from the worker placement spots in order from 1 to, 20, at least 20 worker placement spots on there. And it kind of just goes around the board. And so it's Middle Ages, you're getting resources, you're trading them in for things. You're trying to complete contracts for ships that are coming in. You're buying space on ships to bring in goods. It's all about it's kind of almost an economics game. There is actually a little stock market that you can choose to participate in or not. You can cards come up that will flip that will affect the stock market. But again, I'm giving it a high level. This is a fairly heavy-ish Euro game, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. I got destroyed in it, which doesn't surprise anybody. It was me, Jim, Chuck, and another Rob, not to confuse things, but there is another Rob in the world, and we were playing, and they had I know that Rob and Chuck had played many times before. They had talked about this as one of their favorite games. Jim and I were learning it for the first time, and I think Chuck, if I remember, came away with the win this time. Yeah, actually, I've got it here, 145 points to my 90. So yeah, he almost lapped me in this one. But anyway, a lot of fun, good thinky game. You're punting out things. There you go. There's some if people who are watching can see Coloma there. You're again acquiring some goods early on, and then you're trying to time out things. So I'm going to go over here, and then if I activate in the 2 spot, I'm going to buy some stuff. You know what? Actually, now that I'm seeing the game, I'm actually confusing the 2 games that I played. Coloma.
The chat keeps saying something about sounds like oranges and lemons.
Oranges and Lemons, which is a game that I played next, is what I'm talking about. So is that, yeah.
I just want to clear up too. It's that they had both single day people on Saturday and Sunday, so
sweet.
They let people come both days apparently. So it's good. That's really cool. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So they opened it up. So even if you weren't staying and paying for the rooms and all, you got to do it. Coloma is a different. Well, so I was talking about actually Oranges and Lemons, which is a little known game. So I'll do them in reverse order here. But Oranges and Lemons, there we go. There it is. Is the game I was discussing, and it was a lot of fun. It's like a lot of thinking ahead. And one of the other cool things about this is the order that you place ends up being your turn order for the next round. So the one spot, the lower numbered spots tended to be less powerful actions, but if you went there and did things, you actually moved to the head of the line in the next round. There were a couple of exceptions on the board. See, there's the board, very busy board. You know, we mentioned that, discussed that as we were playing. A lot of background artwork that gets a little distracting sometimes. But again, you can kind of see all these worker placement spots for those of you who are able to see all these worker placement spots where you're placing people out. And then again, you're just kind of pulling them off. You go around these little quarter circles here as you go around, and then just activate everything in order. So it's a lot of tit for tat. This is the player order chart. So as you pull them off, you start putting them in little rows around the middle of the board, and then that's going to be your turn order for the next round. But definitely, again, a very economic game, a very thinking ahead a couple of turns, that I'm going to do this to get these resources to then go over here and sell them. And then, use those to import some goods and then buy some victory points, when it gets over to the fourth section of the board. So a lot of fun, a lot of thinking. Again, it took me about half the game to kind of grasp what was going on. And then once I got it, it was like it started clicking. I was like, oh, okay, now I see. It's one of those that once you played, you almost instantly want to play again. It's like, I got to do that again because now I would have done things completely differently. But Oranges and Lemons, very fun game. Not Coloma. Coloma was actually the first game we played. So jumping back to Coloma, if you want to pull up the picture of that one there. Coloma is it's got a rondelle mechanism in it. It's there you go. I was gonna say you are. It's kind of hard to explain, but this middle circular part of the board is something that turns every round. So it's going to turn a big gear that blocks part of the actions that are available. And what you're doing in this one is you have cards that allow you a dial that you are choosing 1, 2, 3, 4. Just looking at the picture here, there's 5 different options of actions that you can do, and everybody secretly is using this little dial that each person has to decide which of those actions they're going to do. And so you pick your 1, 2, 3, or 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, and then you put the dial face down in front of you. We then stack our little meeple on top of it to show that we're ready. And once everybody's ready, then everybody reveals. And then you all place your workers on the section of the actions that you wanted to do. And it's one of these games that if you do the action by yourself, you get better benefits. But if you do an action that everybody else did, or that at least one other person does, you get a reduced ability of that action. And again, it's one of these games also that has kind of like different mini games. So there's like a little area control part of the board in the upper left-hand corner. If you're what we're looking at, there's a little map that you have it was a wagon that one of the actions on the main board is you move your wagon around, and then you can acquire, you've got a big pool of supplies, and then you have to get them from your pool onto your board. And then once you're on your board, you can deploy them out. You can kind of see here on the left corner. As you go, there's an area control because you can place these tents out in the different territories. But also, as you're moving your wagon around, there's these spots that are giving you things as you move along. So you can collect money, you can collect extra workers. So they call them actually dudes in this game. It's set in the Wild West. So you collect dudes and you put those from your main pool onto your player board. And then again, everything has to go onto your player board to then be used out on the main board in the big game. But lots of little mechanics here. There is reminded me of Champions of Midgard in the top middle here. There is a fight the bad guys thing. And so there's some spots, and you can dedicate a certain number of your dudes to go and fight the outlaws that are coming in and threatening the town each turn. And so if you don't fight them off, then points are scored at the end of that round based on one set of criteria or one set of things for points. But if the group collectively fights off the bad guys, there's points depending on who contributed the most people to it, because you lose the dudes afterwards. There's a gunfight. They all go back to your main pool. You got to recruit the dudes again back onto your board to get them back on the main board. But depending on how many people you had in that fight, you get victory points and you get some rewards and things. So it was really cool. There's a hand management part of this that everybody starts with an identical set of cards. And as you play, you are drawing cards. You shuffle them up, of course, and then you're drawing cards off the top of the stack. And those are buildings that you can build. And so the buildings, for the most part, there's some flavor and variety in them, but they modify things you do on this center wheel. So it's saying, if I build this building, they all have numbers 1, 2, 3, or 5, 4 or 5. Why do I keep skipping 4? I don't like 4 apparently, but 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Then if you take that action on the main wheel, it gives you something else. It gives you some other options or gives you some additional things for taking the 1 action or the 2 actions. So Really cool wooden bits. You can see here the screen printed wooden pieces. The dials were really nice. They were kind of nice and tight. I don't know if that's just from it hasn't been played a lot, but Chuck had the deluxe version of it, which just had a couple of upgrades. But I think that's what we're seeing in most of these pictures here is the deluxe version. He says it's pretty hard to find. Oh, actually, this is not the deluxe. The deluxe has poker chips, the full size poker chips, which actually is what you're seeing, I think, in that picture. But anyway, yeah, these little buildings you build out of your hand. So it was a lot of fun. That was again, one of these games kind of reminds me of maybe Trajan or something like that. That there's different parts of the board that do different things. I didn't even get to half of them, but you can do the different actions to go to different parts of the boards to play different little mini games or area control or whatever to eventually get points. So Coloma, I recommend it. I will be on the lookout for this. I believe it might be out of print, or maybe the standard version is in print and the deluxe version is not. But Johnny Pack, designer, you can see there, very yeah, oh yeah, and the Miho is the artist for it. But yeah, a lot of fun. It says 60 to 90 minutes. I'd say that's probably accurate. We played a 4-player game. Oh, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Chuck and Rob told us over and over and over again that this game is great with 6 players because it's pretty simultaneous. You're all choosing what action you're going to do at the same time. Sometimes when you're actually playing out the action, sometimes everybody can do it at once, and then depending on a couple of the actions, you may have to have one person go before the other, just for like drawing cards or getting a resource that's limited or whatever. But they said that this game's outstanding at 5 and 6 players, and I think I would have to agree with that. With the mostly simultaneous play, it's a good one. So for higher player counts, I could see Columba being really good, but definitely looking forward to playing that again. I'll try to go quick. I know I'm running along here. We played the Great Split. Fun game. We all here have played the Great Split. A little Euro pushing cubes on tracks. You've never played it, Carlos? You've never played Great Split? Oh, I played it so many times.
Yeah,
It was on Amazon for like $15 or something. I missed it.
yeah.
I would have sworn you had played it.
You choose
Yeah, I played it so many times now. Yeah, I probably played 40, 50 games of this.
I hear great things about it.
Oh yeah, it's fun. It's I split, you choose, cubes, pushing cubes on tracks to maximize points at the end. A big scoring at the end where you get a bunch of points. So yeah, Great Split. Highly recommend. That's a fun game. We played that with I think 7 people, and it's another game that it's simultaneous for most of it.
Yeah.
Got a call coming in.
Beansanddice podcast. State your name. Where you calling from?
Hey guys, it's Aaron calling from Columbus, Ohio.
Hey, Ron. Welcome to the show.
How we doing?
We are talking
Good, how are you?
Twig and games we're playing. What are you up to?
Yeah, I'm just cleaning the basement, reorganizing the game shelves and listening while I do it. So thought I'd call in a little bit.
Glad I could help with that. Help you kill that time.
Yeah, no, perfect. Right, listen to the call-in show and move around some cardboard. What better way to spend a Thursday night?
Absolutely, that sounds like a game itself.
Yeah. Well, things are good. I've been acquiring a few more games. Still not getting a ton of playtime in. The work schedule. I switched jobs a handful of months ago, and have to be in office 5 days a week. So it just has made it tougher to get to game night, that sort of stuff. It's a bit of a commute now. But come January, I'll be able to work a hybrid schedule. So we'll see. And there's always more gaming around the holidays too. So, but I've been acquiring. I had some Kickstarters come in recently, acquiring some games. I got to play. I think I called and asked for some opinions on a couple games. A few weeks ago, we had a weekend game day. Didn't play any of the games I asked for recommendations on, but I did get to play Ostia and Endeavor Deep Sea. Is that what it's called?
Yes. Both good games, yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, no, they're both quite a bit different, but both very good. I'm still kind of racking my brain around which one I think I preferred. Maybe I don't. Maybe they're just different enough that it doesn't matter. I think Endeavor Deep Sea is just more universally my speed. Like it was the right weight, but I had a lot of like just simple decisions, but when you stack them all together in a very unique theme and kind of the diving deep, it was very good. So I don't know that I'll run out and buy it myself, but I could see that one being one I'd add to my collection. And Ostia's, it's good. It kind of has like an older Euro feel.
Oh yeah.
Like it plays very differently, but it kind of reminds me of like the Concordia age of Euro games. Plays differently, but it just kind of, if it came out in that time, I don't think anyone would be surprised. But so those were two big games that I wasn't expecting to play. Endeavor Age of Sail. Ostia was on my really wanting to play list and was happy with both of those. So those are my two recent new plays. And I think I played a couple small games with my sister a couple weeks ago. Welcome to, which I think Carlos, I saw you got that to the table.
That's how you comment on it. It's one of your favorite flip and fills.
Yeah, it's still up there for me. I mean, I like the genre. I got into Hadrian's Wall a little bit solo. That's a fun time, but just I think everything Welcome to does in 20 minutes. My sister and I can bust it out pretty quick. It's really good. There are a few others that I enjoy, but that's still my favorite. Flipping right, rolling right.
Well, it doesn't sound like you got a lot of games in, but you got some good ones in. I'll comment on Endeavor.
Yeah.
I think they're different enough where you can have both. I really feel that Endeavor Deep Sea has that exploration aspect that makes it feel completely different than Endeavor Age of Sail. But Endeavor Age of Sail, to me, I felt it was more of a race to get to certain places, so it's a little more cutthroat. And then it's got that push your luck element with the slave deck to decide, who wants to go there and who wants to end it. So it's, to me, two different games, but they're both really good.
I haven't played Age of Sail yet. The theme wasn't as exciting to me. And I mean, we were throwing a couple other ideas around when they recommended Endeavor Deep Sea, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'll give it a go. And yeah, I mean, it's for as much as going on, the teach and like the core rule set, very easy to grasp, but a lot of different places to play. And then you have like a mission or whatever, the board that you pull out that kind of tells you how you set up and kind of some of the unique features. Talk about giving you a game that like no game is going to feel the same between that mission and just how the cards come out as you discover and explore. Like it just.
And the 6 turns is like just long enough. Like you got 6 turns to make this happen. It doesn't outstay its welcome, but it also doesn't feel quite as short as my first few plays of White Castle. Like it was just enough.
Yeah, I really liked it. Again, I think I'd give that a slight edge, but again, Ostia was more unique, so I'd want to play that one again to feel like I got a.
Yeah, that's in my top.
That game can deliver.
Yeah, that's in the top 5 of the year. Yeah, that's in my top 5 for the year of games played.
Yep, me too.
Although, as much as I want a copy of it on my own, I don't know if I'm going to do the new Kickstarter version or the new Game Pound, whatever, because they're like.
They're doing like a pre-order or whatever.
Yeah, they're doing a pre-order, but it's not the same exact version that people got from the Kickstarter. It's the no dual layer boards. It doesn't have the Pirates expansion. There are some subtle differences. And so it's like $79, and then it's like, well, then it's tariffs and shipping, so it's probably going to be 110 or 120. And I'm like, yeah, I really like the game, but there's a few people in town here that have a copy that Alex got a copy, Daryl's got a copy, so maybe I don't pick it up and see if maybe they come up with the fancy version again later.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat. I mean, I like it enough. I would happily play it again, but I don't know if it's one that needs to be in my collection. Not to say like I wouldn't be happy to have it, but
yeah,
if I'm going to make a call on other games, I think.
I just feel like anywhere I go to game days, somebody will have a copy of it. So it's like, what? I probably wouldn't play it at home.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to pull up just kind of quickly. I would say both of those games probably in my top. I mean, I'm not playing as many games as of late, but both of those are probably in my top 5 of the year.
With
Nice.
good reason.
So. What else? You did ask. Of course, I pulled the trigger on Origin Story. I was already pretty. I mean, it was already a done deal, but then the Dice Tower review came out, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're loving it. As we heard earlier,
I think 9s and 9.5s, like some high rating numbers.
9s and a 9.5.
Sounds like it plays really well.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that put it over the top for me too, because I'm like, okay, another trick taker. I've got so many. 9.5s, 9. Okay, I think I'm in.
Yeah, I picked it up. I like the 1 to 5 player. Or it's 1 to 6. Is it 1 to 5? 1 to 5, I think. So I like
1 to 5, I think.
Yeah.
1 to 5, yeah.
The solo mode, that'll be interesting to give it a shot. The 2-player where you kind of have your sidekick and you see some information of the sidekick, but they can win tricks, kind of is interesting. I just like the theme of it, and I realized that I don't really own a trick taker in my game collection. Like, I don't think I have any. I don't think I have any real trick takers, because I know I don't own diamonds, and which is another one I would pick up. I think that's the other one I would pick up. But
No.
Hey, Aaron, I think you were here with us when we first started talking about it, and we're kind of going through it. But did you catch in the Dice Tower video when they talked about the artwork, what they said about the cover?
Yeah, a little bit. Yep.
They had said the worst reflection of the art in the entire game, the worst representation was the cover.
The cover, yeah.
It does make me wonder. I mean, again, I'm still my fanboy. What Jamie does to the hobby in general with his videos and connecting and all that stuff is pretty remarkable. But it is interesting, like the art choices they're making in Stomar, I don't have any real problems with them, but man, are they polarizing. Like, it's been just game after game that I think a lot of people have some really strong feelings. There's drama with the scythe art and artists there for a while. I don't think many people at all were fans of the Libertalia direction they went.
Right. Good call.
And don't get me wrong, like everyone, they're very easy. Like, people love to jump on and hate on Stomar for something, but it is weird. Like, the art, I just wonder how that decision was made. Like, who all weighed in on that?
Not the art of the game, but the selection of the cover art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he's pretty clear about, like, the artist.
Not just the front cover, but, like, the decision to go front cover and back cover art, like, feels a little interesting, too. You know what would have been cool is if it, like, and maybe it doesn't work with his model or whatever, but something like they did with, like, Abyss, especially with, like, the superheroes, have, like, 5 distinct covers come out, and you can't just get the one that you get. Like, how cool would that have been to have, like,
5 different heroes or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's better than generic Aquaman. Who cares about Aquaman? Nobody cares about Aquaman.
Yeah, so I'm, but to both your points, like, it looks so good from a mechanism standpoint, where they have this very simple core trick taking mechanic, and then layering in these powers and abilities, and I mean, I don't know what other theme you could use for it, but it seems to fit the theme really well. So
development of your character, being able to decide if it's going to be a villain or a hero. Yes.
Yeah, round to round. I like that. Yeah, it's interesting because, I mean, we looked at it, when you look at the cards and you look at the gameplay, the artwork, you know, maybe you don't like the pastel-y or light artwork, but it's a lot better. Like that. Like, I don't like. I've never seen, like, even all the Stomar stuff. Generally, his game box cover art is good, right? I mean, it's fairly. You know, I can't really think of. I mean, maybe Viticulture back in the day was a little bland, right? But that was kind of his first game.
Kind of weird.
Is it?
Euphoria was way back there, but yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. This is just
But
like I haven't heard anyone say yet they like the box cover art.
Yeah, I know it's the same artist, but like Wormspan got a weird. I think people wanted like more fantasy dragons than like the watercolor dragons. I mean, I think the art looks great, and I'm very into like kind of unique stylized art. I don't immediately look at that art and think it. I don't immediately look at that art and think, oh, this would go well with a superhero game. But when I saw some of the art tied to like actual superheroes we know, like the Batman art, stuff like that, I thought that was awesome. It looks great. But without that context, without the like pop culture references, I think it loses some of that kind of coolness feature. But again, once you put it on the player boards and they're part of those, the art becomes less of a superhero and more like elements, like the powers or their suits or whatever that you're adding on to your hero. I don't know. It comes together a little bit more. Interesting.
I really did like how they did the gradual increase of the power based on the number rank of the card for each of the suits. So like, you know, the fist becomes like a glowing like super fist by the time you get to the highest number of that suit. So yes, the art is, if you dig in, the art is great. The cover, I think, is where it loses people. Good choice. Good choice.
I just don't. I think people are going to. I think it'll sell fine, great. Like people who like Trick Takers probably going to go for it. Stonemaier crowd supports Stonemaier very well, but I just wonder if it's going to have like the shelf presence, right? That based on that art and like not having a direct tie-in to real superheroes. I just wonder.
Yeah, if I'm at a game store and see all the other games around it, see that pastel-y thing there, it's out of place. Yeah.
I think he's making more and more of his money on direct to sale, right? I know like his report last year, it was like 40 or 45% of his total sales were direct, right? And so the other 55 or 60% is still stores, but I mean, he's making enough money on just the direct sales to pay for everything, and then as you know, things sell up.
I mean, he's definitely he's built enough of a community that he's never going to launch a product and I think not make money off of it. Whether it was worth the time and resources may be another question, but you also don't sell 2 million copies of Wingspan without selling a ton in retail. So this isn't going to be a Wingspan, of course.
No, but that's the real question, though, Aaron. Like, what else did you put in your cart when you ordered Origin Story?
A bit of everything, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
I didn't quite get to the free shipping, but it wasn't worth it. So.
Oh yeah. Well, I hadn't done it. I don't know what happened if I did it late or whatever. But I didn't order. I don't remember. I think I ordered Vantage through there, but I don't think I got Thin Span through direct from somewhere. Anyway, yeah. I mean, I went in on all of the Wingspan Bird promo packs. There were some Rolling Realms packs that I added.
Especially his small box stuff. When you like get on there and order that small box stuff, it's like, you know what? I'll just grab a couple packs for Rolling Realms while I'm here.
Yeah.
Well, it's just and like he prices that stuff so well. Like he packed a ton in the box for Origin Stories. I think he has it priced at $35, but then it's discounted to $25 because of the pre-order, and then with the Stonemaier Champions, it's down to $20. And it's just like everything is. So I ended up getting the new Takedo stuff as well. So yeah, it was a good chunk of money, but you know, October's the birthday month, so it's fine.
I did,
fine.
Oh,
I did all
Aaron?
all the bird packs, the Origin Story, Rolling Realm, and then 2 copies of Origin Story, one for me, one for Carlos. So didn't quite get to the free shipping, and then I'm like, well, do I want to get the Takedo mat? And I'm like, well, it costs more than the shipping would have been, so it wasn't worth it, but it was still like crazy discount because the packs, the bird packs ended up being like $5 or $6 a piece, and it was like nothing, right? And then the rolling realms are like $280 a piece with all the discounts.
Yeah, I had the Picado mat in the cart and dropped it to add a few additional rolling realms packs. I'm trying to. It's going to be hard to capture them all now because anytime you hop on there, some of them are sold out. So, but I didn't get it the first time, so then I hopped back in, and this time got the Vantage grid boards or whatever for Vantage. I didn't get the upgraded money or tokens, but those boards I think will be nice to have. So, yeah, it was a big order.
Yeah. I've been thinking about Vantage still. Like, I'm like, do I really want to? I want to play it first. I need to play it before I buy it.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Definitely try before you buy.
I would try before you buy. I really would. I
For
don't know
sure.
if you're doing solo. If you're not doing a ton solo, I would definitely try before buy. But if you think it's something you could do solo, I think there's tons of replayability there. It's just a matter of like, is that your type of solo game? Because it is pretty. There are no rails. Like it's a bit of a unique experience. But I've enjoyed. I have 3 or 4 plays of it solo now, and I'll keep coming back to it. So I don't think I'll play it with more than 2. But
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is like it's not a kind of game you're gonna play with 3, 4, 5 players.
Nah.
Yeah, no. I would much rather play a midweight, even a heavy Euro if I had 3 people than that. There'd be too much downtime sitting around.
Yep, get some more Endeavor Deep Sea. I know that Chris Federspiel talked about playing it at SpielCon, 5-player co-op. If you haven't played a co-op, it is a tough little co-op. Like you can set the difficulty ahead of time, but I played it solo. It is hard.
Interesting. I didn't know. I don't think I knew that I played co-op. I'll take a look. Yeah.
Co-op and solo.
Well, guys, I appreciate it.
Have fun in the basement.
Yeah,
don't get lost.
Take you past 11.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks.
Thanks for calling in, Aaron. I think that was caller number 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another 4.
I don't think I updated the board.
Didn't upgrade the big board.
Let me do that now.
All right. While you're doing that, I'm gonna take 30 seconds here to finish. So played Great Split. I played Dark Ages again. This time we played the Heritage of Charlemagne. Really good. Still really like that game. I didn't finish in last in that one. I finished last most of these games. But Heritage of Charlemagne was just kind of cool. One little twist, or one main twist. In the first one, you score a bunch of points for building churches. In this one, you have what are they called? Scribes or something that you can recruit that do special things, give you special powers. But yeah, I really enjoying that game. And then the last thing I played at the end of the night, we played Brink, which was a very unique game. I won't take time getting into it here. Maybe I'll explain it more on next week's show. But this was from the same group that did Moonrakers. And so it had definitely some DNA from Moonrakers, but it had definitely different mechanics. So if you didn't like Moonrakers, but you liked the production, this one very well-produced game again. I would say this one would be worth a shot. I wouldn't rule it out just because you didn't like Moonrakers, but you can definitely tell if you've played Moonrakers, there are some definite similarities. But that was my game day on Sunday, and I know Wayne's got some game day he wants to tell us about.
Yeah, we're also at 11, so I mean, we can.
No, we're gonna finish the twig, and next week we'll catch up on OGG and news.
Mine's pretty. We went to our Beansanddice every second Saturday game day. We try to play kind of like Halloweenish or candy-based games. So, first game I played was Gollum, which is kind of a worker placement game set in Prague in the 16th century, 1600s, where you're kind of creating the Gollum, and you're kind of like Jewish scholars, and so it's kind of like. It's a generic Euro worker placement where you're, placing a figure, moving figures, going up tracks to get a column going. I thought it was kind of interesting. Cool mechanism is there's basically 3 tracks that you're moving across the center of the board with your Gollum, and you kind of have like I think it's like a Jewish scholar or whatever, and you have to keep them close, right? Because if they get too far away, the Gollum will like stampede. So you have to kind of balance how the distance between your scholar and the golem is. And it was pretty cool. It was a fun game. Again, it went pretty quick. I did better than I thought I would. After the first round, I was like, oh God, this is going to be rough. And then I ended up doing pretty well at the end. So it's a fun game. The theme didn't really come through super well. I was kind of hoping the theme would come through better, because it's kind of an interesting story. The whole, the golems and Jewish history in Eastern Europe and stuff like that. But it kind of is pasted on theme on the mechanics. But it does kind of make a little bit of sense. But it was just fun. I would definitely play it again. Good production value. First time I played it, yeah, it was good.
Okay. What do you think of the marble thing, the marble mechanism?
The marble mechanism was cool. Loading the marbles was a little funky, right? Because like when you drop them in the thing, they could all go to one tray. So you kind of like hold the rule book over it and put the marbles on it, and then flip it in. So I like the marble mechanism. I just didn't know if the tray and the loading of it worked really well. Yeah, because like behind it, when you drop it in, you can see that's like 6 marbles in the one thing. But it's kind of interesting.
Explosion like.
Yeah, but it's interesting. It's like when you pick a colored marble, you move your worker in one of those 3 tracks on the main board. If you grab the white, it's kind of a wild, but you don't get to move your worker. But then if you match the marbles that you pick this round, because you're going to basically take 2 marbles, you can match the card for the round and you get a bonus. But those bonuses weren't really like game breaking. So a lot of times I'm like, screw it. It's better for me to grab the color I need versus getting the matching colors. But it was interesting because you had like on your player board, you have the golem that you can turn over to get special powers there in the center. You have kind of books and knowledge that you can do. And then you have kind of like artifacts that you can build. And each of those areas score, and then the multiplier is based on how many kind of menorahs that you have flipped over. So it's a lot of like doing stuff on the main board to then get resources to then flip over and activate things on your player board. So it was kind of cool. Yeah, I like the game. It was very fun. I would definitely play it again. But it definitely kind of was just didn't wow me as far as like, oh my God, this game is amazing. It's just very good, solid worker placement Euro game with some interesting mechanisms with like the marble and stuff. So
I agree. It's been years since I played it. I played it just one time. I liked it, but I wasn't wowed by it, like you said. So yeah, I'd say definitely a try before you buy kind of game.
Yeah, it's like a good solid 7 out of 10 type game, So it was good. So we played that, and then the group played a couple of rounds of Werewords, which is kind of like a Are You a Werewolf thing, but it's sort of 20 questions where somebody is the werewolf that's trying to not try to give you enough. So the group is the kind of the mayor gets a word, and they have to answer questions, yes, no, maybe type questions. And then the werewolf will have to try to guide the group to not get the right answer, but the seer knows it. So the seer's trying to influence the group to get to the word. If the group gets the word, then they win, but the werewolf then gets like 30 seconds to guess the seer, and if they get the seer, then they win. And so it was really good. It was one that we were doing. I forget the word now. It was like a crazy word, like out of left field, and Alex was actually the seer, but then Daryl got it at literally the last second. He yelled out the word, and the werewolf guessed Daryl. He's like, "Oh, the seer was like we were gonna lose, so he just threw the word out there, and it wasn't." So it was kind of it was a fun game. It's a fun, quick filler game. It could go off the rails if you go like it's in the app, so that it can generate things right in the app, so it plays pretty easily. But like some of the words or some of the things could be pretty hard to like when you're asking questions, yes, no, maybe. If someone gets it wrong, it kind of throw you off there, but it's fun. After that, I got to teach a couple of folks, Alex and his wife, Chocolate Factory, which is a game that we've championed here in the show, kind of the one that got lost during the pandemic. And in Chocolate Factory, you're running a chocolate factory. And so it has this cool little mechanism where you're loading in the center of your factory, kind of your chocolate, and you're building mechanisms above and below it to convert, basically use coal to change cocoa beans into nibs and nibs into Twixes and Twixes into hard candies and then box candies, and then you're delivering those candies either to the central board or central cars, which are the big boys, or you're doing local deliveries, and you kind of have to balance doing local deliveries to central deliveries to score your points. It's 5 rounds or 6 round game, and it kind of ramps up. Each turn you get a new piece for your factory or a new and a new worker that has special abilities, and kind of how you work those special abilities and stuff back and forth. It's a fun game. So it's a game that, again, it came out 2022-ish, so kind of, or 2021, like right kind of the middle of the pandemic or towards the tail end of the pandemic. So it got a little bit of a 2019, sorry, came out right before the pandemic, so I was a little older than I thought. But it's a good game. Matthew Dunstan and Brad Gilbert. So fun game. We've played it on the show. Actually, one of the first games I think we played when I joined the show way back in the day. So it's a fun.
It's a hit. We love it. I think Mitch from Louisiana introduced it to us, and it was an insta buy for me. My wife loves it. I love it. The linear feel of the conveyor belt is just so fun, so tactile.
Yep, it's a good game. It has really good.
You were talking about Halloween games. I didn't even think about Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, because it's chocolate and Halloween. Gotta make the candies. Yep.
When I saw that on the list, I was like, "Hold on, Halloween game?" And then I was like, "Oh, I guess the candy thing."
The candy, come on, it's a stretch, but it's good enough. But yeah, it was good, and it's light. It's quick too, because you can definitely get this game in 45 minutes pretty easily. Horrified was on the list. We had like Chris's. I mean, oh my God, brain. The place where we get hosted is Alex. Thank you. Alex has probably got 2,000 games, maybe. So something like that, 1,800 games.
Getting close. He's over 1,500.
Yeah, something like that. So there's a lot of. He had a list of 30 or 40 or 50 different Halloween themed games. So we were trying to get through some ones he hadn't played. And then I had to leave early because I had an event that night. But the last game I played before I left was Cryptid, which is a very cool game. It's got a modular board. And you put out the modular board, and then everyone gets a booklet, and you flip over a card, and you're basically trying to hunt the cryptid, right? But and we played 3-player, but you can play it 3 to 5. Everyone has rules on the board, so like my rule might be not within 2 spaces of water, and then Rob could be not within 1 space of a swamp, and Carlos, yours is on a mountain. And so what's crazy is however you set up the modular board, there's hundreds and hundreds of setups. This booklet would be correct, right? And so you're basically making guesses as to where other people are. I'd be like, Carlos, can you play here? And if you can't, then you put a certain like a squares where you can't play, and circles is where you can play. And basically you just need to find the one spot on that board that all 3 of us would be able to actually say, yeah, that's where the cryptid is. And if you're the first one to guess that, then you win. And so it's very kind of just thinky about like, okay, well, if he can't go here, but he can go here, what does that mean as far as the possible rules? And when you play like the harder version, it could be like the inverse, like not within 2 of this, right? Or, so you can kind of go have positives and negative rules in there. And it kind of gets a little bit more complicated as it goes. So we played 2 or 3 rounds of this, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. I definitely got killed because I think Alex and his wife had played it a few times, so they kind of knew a little bit of the rules.
Well, Alex has played it a bunch. He tries to get me to play this every time I go over there. He's like, "Oh, Cryptid is so good. Have you played it?" No, I haven't played it yet. Yeah.
It's fun.
I've seen this game around, but I would have never guessed that this was the style of play. Like,
it's a puzzle all night.
This is
it's the kind of stuff that hurts my head.
It's very straightforward, but it's very puzzly. And it's like, you can, if like I messed it up in the first game, and then I think in subsequent games, everyone messed it up where if you go, can you play here? And you go, no, I can't play here, but really you can. Then it kind of ruins
the whole game.
Yeah, but I realized before anyone else took a turn that I made a mistake. I was like, oh no, I can't play there. And then like as Alex was getting ready to play, I'm like, hold on, nope, I can go there. It's like you have to really pay attention. It's I think that's the one.
Stay away from those games.
Yeah, that's the one kind of negative. Yeah, the one negative of this game would be is if one person screws up, they says yes or no, it because there's really just one spot or one. maybe there's more than one spot, but there's very limited spots on the board that would work for all three people's clues.
Yeah.
So you have to be
I
really
saw-
careful about screwing that
Saw
up.
a game of this end that way where it was like, hold on, we've done all the things and we still don't know where it is. Somebody screwed up, and they're going back trying to deduce, all right, who made the mistake? And so
But it was a fun game. I enjoyed it. It's not something that I would run out and buy, but I would certainly play it again because I think it's the kind of game where, like, as you play it more than once, if you play it 3 or 4 or 5 times, you kind of get your head around the rules a little bit, so you can kind of deduce it a little faster. But yeah, it was good. I liked it. So those are the 4 games I played that day.
Nice.
And then as far as game halls, this isn't a board game, but we got the newest
Stranger
D&D
Things.
Yeah, the D&D box set
D&D?
for It comes with it's pretty actually. I already opened it up, but it's got basically a rule book, like all the rules you would need to play, and then it comes with you got 4 different modules. So you got a level 1, a level 2, and 2 level 3 modules, which is kind of cool. It walks you through it, and it's got all the maps and character sheets.
You say
and
2 level 3s?
Yeah, it's got 1 level 2. One level 1 module that's supposed to be 2 or 3 game sessions long, or 1 or 2 game sessions long, and then a level 2 one that's like 3 or 4, and then 2 different level 3s. So you can.
That's a lot of game compared to
Yeah.
the last version.
Yeah,
The
a lot
last
more game
version
in it.
of that box, I think, was just like 1 adventure.
Yep. Yeah. So it's and then it's cool. It's got the pre-printed character sheets, and it kind of yellowish. So it's a little hard to read. That's the one thing I'm going to complain about because I can't read that with my eyes. But
Yeah, but
gives
it's themey. It's like
Yeah, it
it's
is themey.
printed on like goldenrod paper from
goldenrod
the
paper
80s.
from back in the days. Yeah, and it comes with the pre-printed characters, 4 characters, all 1, 2, and 3 levels. It's got a lot in the box. Hold on, and
You just costed Chris Fetterspiel some money.
Some
His
money
wife
there,
saw
yep.
it and says, "Buy it
Oh.
now."
Buy
Right.
it now.
Yeah, this is good, and it
Stranger Things fan.
comes with all the maps, pre-printed maps that you need for the books, for the modules. And it's got character tokens and monster
It's
tokens.
more like a board game. It very much is a better introduction to RPGs.
It's got the giant
Look at the Dungeon Masters
Dungeon Master screen,
screen.
and then hey, I'm keep going. Hold
Dude,
on,
There's a lot of content for
Yeah,
these starter boxes.
it's got
cards.
item cards, monster cards, spell cards. Comes with D6, 1 whole set of dice, and then it's got
It's not like we don't have 100 laying around.
exactly, and then it's got here that's all the monster cards. Are monster cards, combat
they
sheet.
look like they're on index cards.
Yeah, little combat sheets, round tracking sheet, and it's got a nice little like insert. So
That's a
There's a-
great setup.
it is
Hey,
definitely.
I'd give it a shot.
Yeah, it's definitely a nicer kind of setup than the previous one. So there's definitely enough in here to keep you busy. So I'm gonna surprise my kid because they've been asking me to run them. My son and all his friends have watched Stranger Things, so they want to run it. So I figured that they'll at least get into this one. So yeah,
Nice.
so that's the new box set. And it's pretty big, I think the retail is like $50 or $60. So it's not super cheap, but it's a lot of game for $60. So yeah, that's good.
Nice.
So
Yeah, it's almost like a whole board game. When you said 2 of the level 3 modules, that's usually the opposite of what happens. Most of the time, these starter boxes, they get you like the 1 or level 2 stuff, the level 1 or level 2 stuff, and then you kind of have to go buy the big box set. But by giving you that level 2 of the level 3s,
Yep.
that's more than enough content for most families.
yeah, and I think I bought mine on Amazon, but I think if you go directly through them, you get I'm not using like the D&D Beyond or the D20 Roll20 or whatever it is, but apparently you get a lot of this digitally as well if you buy it through them because the digital as well as. But I don't need that. I'm good with on the tabletop. So yeah, so that was my game haul for the week, and I'm getting shipping notifications on 3 or 4 Kickstarters. So hopefully those will be coming in the next week or so. So somebody already got the expansion for Clans of Caledonia, and I'm waiting on mine. So I'm looking forward to that. So
Well, that's going to wrap up our episode today. We had a topic. It was a great fun time for the topic. I will ask you folks at home, if you're not in the Discord already, check out the link in the description or whatever format, the summary of whatever you're watching it under, whether it's Twitch, YouTube, or Rumble, or on podcasts. There's a link to our Discord. Go in there. You can ask us questions. that we can use as a primer to get the conversation going for these episodes where we don't have a board or a game to show off. Make sure you join the Discord. You can email us at beansanddice@gmail.com or make sure that you hit like, subscribe, whatever software you're using to watch this on. Hit like, hit subscribe, smash the bell. If you like what we do here and you want to support us, you can do that financially through any of the YouTube Super Chats, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. All of that can be found at Beansanddice, as BeansAndDice. You can donate that way. That's been another great episode, fellas. Thank you for joining me again. Hoping to get
Thanks,
more
Nick Oben,
played.
for our opening topic tonight. And I just want to mention, so if other people have ideas, if something pops in your head while you're playing a game, you're like, wow, that's would be an interesting topic, throw it in the Discord. We might bring it up and talk about it. So
super thank yous to our 4 callers tonight. You made it a call-in show. That's what helps this time fly by for us. So we this is how we game. This is who we are. You know, we're not pretentious about it. We don't pretend to be insiders in the industry. We're just a few guys who likes to play games. So join us in these conversations. We'd appreciate it. Thank you all for watching. God bless you all. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Night, everybody.
Thanks for watching the Beans and Dice podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
See y'all next week.